Hi everyone, welcome to a simple review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Kylo Ren, one of my personal favorites from the Buildable Figures line. And this is set 75117. He's got 86 pieces, and he is of course part of the Force Awakens series of Buildable Figures. He also is super awesome. He is a kind of an older figure. He was released in 2016, of course part of that line. And before we take a look at Kylo here, we're going to take a look at its box and the instructions, and we'll go back to Ren. So I'll put Ren aside so we can take a look at his box, which is pretty awesome. And Kylo Ren did retail for about $24.99. Just keep that in mind. And you can see Kylo Ren is super awesome. You can see his box is very eye-catching. We got the Lego Star Wars logos, all the stuff on the side. We got the Buildable Figures logo, of course. We've got Kylo in an action pose, showing off his lightsaber, and he's on a burning village in Jakku, because this is kind of the beginning of Force Awakens. And that's the front of the box. Pretty awesome. And on the top of the box, we have an actual size reference image for Kylo Ren's headpiece, his helmet, which is awesome. On the side of the box, one of my favorite images is Kylo Ren menacingly with his lightsaber looking there. And you got the Lego Star Wars logos. All the newer Buildable Figures have this, so except for the first wave, they all started doing this in this second wave. On the back of the box, you can see Kylo in a more different action pose. And you can see his dimensions, which he is 26 centimeters or 10 inches tall, a pretty tall figure. You can see his action feature with his lightsaber there, and you can see another pose with his lightsaber. We've got the other Buildable Figures on the bottom. We've got the First Rey, we've got Poe Dameron, the First Order Stormtrooper, Finn, and Captain Phasma, which the ones I plan to get of these are the Stormtrooper and Finn. I have Phasma, and I have the new Rey. I don't care about Poe Dameron, but that's the back of the box. You got a link to lego.com/Star Wars. That's the box. Here's the instruction manual, pretty much the same artwork as the front of the box, nothing special here. But we do have a diagram on how to separate your parts and build your set. Buildable Figures logo in a different language. We got the parts are the process on how to build Kylo. He's a pretty simple figure. He shouldn't take you too long. That's the finished figure, the action feature. The Kylo Ren's parts, different parts that he includes, customer service ad. This is one of a cool series of mini posters. So you can see Kylo Ren battling Rey and Finn on Takodana. Really cool poster there. We've got the other Buildable Figures from the series. So we've got the First Rey, Poe Dameron, Finn, the First Order Stormtrooper, Captain Phasma, and of course we're looking at Kylo Ren. So these are all awesome, I think. I love all these, even the Poe Dameron. But there's also the Win. Would be the Win robot, but actually it's Tahu, the Master of Fire from Bionicle. So that's the instructions. And let's bring back Kylo Ren. So, what do I think about Kylo? Well, he is fantastic. I love it. I actually bought this full price because I love Kylo Ren. And let's talk about his articulation, which it's pretty simple. Like all Buildable Figures, sorry, let me leave with the lightsaber. Like all Buildable Figures, his articulation is pretty straightforward. He's got the head, which can move left, right, up, and down. Pretty awesome. It is a bit limited because of there's a notch on the back of his head, or his, the piece under here. So it's kind of limited in that regard, but it's pretty awesome. This headpiece is awesome. We'll come back to that in a little bit. He's got the arms, which are pretty straightforward. Both of them are the same. You've got the upper arms that can move. You've got the upper elbows, and then the wrist. So all of that can move. Also the legs. Let me move his loin cloth out of the way. We've got his upper legs that can move, his lower legs, and of course his ankles and his feet. So pretty straightforward there. And if he's holding a weapon, of course, that can move as well. So that's his articulation. There's nothing too, spectacular here. It's pretty much just the same style of Buildable Figure movement. So it's, you'd expect this. Let's talk about his exclusive parts, which there are quite a few of them. Starting with the lightsaber, there is a special piece, a crossguard piece that was introduced in this set, and then it carried over to other sets, including Jyn Erso. It's been used a ton of different sets since its inclusion, but here it's in a light blue or dark bluish gray, which is really cool. At least my version is. It's originally it was a gunmetal gray color, but yeah, I got the other version of the part. But yeah, it's a whole story about of the repair series. But that's that's his only true unique part in terms of his lightsaber. But he does have the standard buildable figure chest piece, which is not new. It's not new or unique, but it does have its exclusive print showing Kylo Ren's robes on the front, which you also got the belt detail here. Really nice. You also got some extra printing up here, if you care about that. The other pieces that are unique to Kylo are his cloth fabric, which he does have 2 pieces of it. Sorry, let me kind of turn that down. Sorry if you can't see that. It's a little bit hard to see there, but he does have 2 unique fabric parts. Here's his loin cloth, which is one of them. It attaches under his torso. You can see a little bit of behind the scenes action there. And his massive cape, which is on the back of him. And it's pretty much the same as Darth Vader's cape, I believe. I think it's a little bit different. At least the first Darth Vader that they did in 2015. But it's pretty much the same kind of design, except it's a little bit different for Kylo because he has the action feature. So it has to have a hole to, allow that to work. And of course, the cape attaches under the helmet. So that's pretty cool. And of course, the crown jewel of this figure, the helmet. Look at this thing. It is fantastic. So awesome. You can tell they spent the most money on the helmet. This is the last exclusive part of Kylo Ren. Of course, it's exclusive to his set. And it's amazing. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. You can see the menacing look of his helmet there. Of course, he is a Knight of Ren, master of the Knights of Ren. And you can see the printing is just exquisite. You've got the silver, you've got the battle scars, the dents, the molding. It's just incredible. And it goes all the way around the whole dang helmet. And you've got a dent here, dent here, dent here, dent here, scratches, dents, beat up battle marks, battle scars. It's insane. And there's no Adam Driver head under here, so you're not going to be able to see him. But that's fine, because it's just the whole piece. And this piece has a bit of weight to it. So you can tell they spent a lot of money on this thing. And it really shows. And it's probably why part of the reason why this figure is so expensive is because of the exclusivity of all these different parts, including the fabric, which boosts the price. So, because Kylo Ren has 2 fabric parts, it kind of makes him more expensive. Which I paid full price because it's Kylo Ren. Come on. Anyway, those are all his exclusive parts. Let's talk about some of his design. Kylo Ren is a very simple figure compared to Boba Fett, General Grievous, Darth Vader, Jango Fett, Rey. Just some of those other figures are not as... they're a lot more detailed than Kylo. But it makes sense because Kylo Ren is a more simple-looking character in the sequel trilogy. So it makes sense, you know? But I think he just looks so menacing, so evil, so dark and brooding, I guess. He just looks so cool as a villain. And especially as a buildable figure, he really stands out for his lightsaber, because that's his main feature, I guess. And he really looks kind of like a knight with the sword-like saber, which is very cool. Let's talk about that lightsaber. It's pretty epic. Let me kind of get his arm to rest. Here's his lightsaber. It's basically using the standard buildable figure, action figure blade in red. Nothing new there. But this piece is new, at least it was for the time, and it's in a dark bluish gray. It's got basically the cross guard of his lightsaber, so it allows the two mini blades, which are actually minifigure lightsaber blades in 3 length. That is what allows him to have the triple blade look. And also, this other piece is in a gunmetal gray, the standard buildable figure lightsaber piece, nothing new there. But it's pretty nice, pretty awesome. And something else you'll notice is that on Kylo's back, he does have a knob. If I zoom in, you'll notice that knob is pretty awesome. It's very well hidden. And if I turn Kylo's lightsaber, you'll notice his action function, which is something that more of the later buildable figures have. And similar to Rey, where he has his action feature. Now, if you turn this knob, his lightsaber will slash and swing, just like it did in the movie. So you can move that up, down. Looks super good, super awesome. And that's basically his action feature. It's got enough friction and at some areas to, most areas, to just keep it there. So if you want to have him swinging his arm up or down, there you go. Now some poses will kind of make the arm kind of sag a little bit like that, but that's because of the weight of the lightsaber, that's why. Something else that Lego includes is a little tiny red axle pin. And if you take this pin, similar to Rey, basically all the lightsaber wielding characters have this, where if you take that pin, put it in his other hand, take his arms and hands and clip them together, basically this makes Kylo Ren have both of his arms or both of his hands on his lightsaber, which is pretty nice. Now, obviously, Kylo Ren doesn't have both of his hands on the saber most of the time, but it's pretty nice. Again, this is a bit awkward, just like Rey's, because it kind of makes the lightsaber look a little bit long. Like, it just looks a little awkward. But you can move this around if you wanted to. Now, I will say, this makes it a lot more limited in terms of posing. So, if you do this with any of the lightsaber characters, it really limits their posability, because both of their hands are on it. So, again, something to keep in mind there, but usually I would just prefer to have Kylo Ren with the one hand holding the blade. It's definitely better. Hey, but hey, if you want this other option, there you go. And Kylo Ren doesn't come with any other accessories, it's just the lightsaber. So, yeah, pretty good. He doesn't need anything else. All he needs is a little dark side force, and he can choke people or something. But yeah, something also that's really cool about the lightsaber, one last thing, is that you can actually angle it somewhat. So you can see it's like this on his hand in front. Well, you can actually take it off and angle it like this. So now it's a different look. So you can do that. And of course, you can angle the lightsaber in any direction you choose. But it's pretty nice. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. And that's pretty much Kylo Ren. I don't think there's much cons with him. I'd say the only major con is that if you flip his cape up, you can see his exposed upper legs. That's the only thing I would say is a really bad thing with this figure. I will say he is a bit simple looking. But that's because he's simple in the movie, so it kind of works, right? There's, like, not really that else I would change. I mean, other than the limited posability somewhat of the head, the helmet, it's pretty good. It's pretty awesome. I would say Kylo Ren gets a 10 out of 10 from me, because he's one of my most favorites, that's why. And I have a lot of special memories with him, and, I loved his figure. I actually recently repaired him, so if you want to see that, there you go. But that is Kylo Ren from Force Awakens line of buildable figures. One of the best. I would definitely recommend this to you. If you're a fan of the villains, or the dark side, or Kylo Ren, or anything like that, or buildable figures in general, this is one you don't want to miss. But that's Kylo Ren for you. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I showed you everything you wanted to see. Look for more simple reviews coming from me. And I will see you next time for another review. Take care. May the Force be with you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.